Well, the restaurant owned by an Instagram star shut down by the city of Boston. Nusret had violations of...
felt this was necessary action due to the strain on the city resources to responding to calls of lack of...
Calling this a line is a misnomer.
They were overwhelmed, unfortunately. Lots of people without reservations.
One lawsuit alleges $230,000 in stolen tips. Salt Bae was forced to pay compensation in the lawsuit. As for Salt Bae, his restaurant seemed to be making money, but workers are suspicious of the poor conditions. Is this going to be the end of Nusret Steakhouses?
It's been a long time since the Salt Bae mess started, but this time Salt Bae has actually lost his last hope. You might be wondering, as Salt Bae is now moving out of America and Europe, couldn't he start a new business in Latin America or the Middle East? But the reason is, once again, Salt Bae has failed. All the allegations, past records, lawsuits, and the loss of huge amounts of money have completely ruined him. There's no hope left that Salt Bae will come back again. The damage is fully done. And this time, even more shocking details have been revealed that will shock you more than ever. Keep watching until the end. So guys, as you know, Salt Bae, once called a celebrity chef by all the big names, rose to fame because of his Nusret restaurant. That's what gave him worldwide recognition, but now it's all crumbling. His restaurants are shutting down across America and Europe, and allegedly not much is left there anymore. When Salt Bae tried to shift his business to Latin America and the Middle East, another wave of restrictions hit him. Lawsuits and scandals have completely ruined his life.
One lawsuit alleges $230,000 in stolen tips. Salt Bae was forced to pay compensation in the lawsuit.
Now, after all of this, Salt Bae is trying to fully move out of Europe and America and shift into Latin America or the Middle East. But even there, it's not safe for him. There are already a lot of threats and challenges waiting, which I'll explain later. What's ruining Salt Bae even more right now is the non-stop exposure against him. People are digging into his past, bringing up every good and bad story, and blasting it all over the internet. Remember Salt Bae, the man who finally visited his mother after 2 years? Just imagine that. He came from humble roots, yet he forgot the parents who raised him and helped him get to where he is. When everyone started questioning him about it, he simply went to visit his mother, filmed a video for Instagram, and then disappeared again. Look at his mother's face in that video. You can see the pain of missing her son. But Salt Bae? He was literally flexing with his own mother, not even taking off his sunglasses for a second. Yes, that's true. Just imagine how shady that is. And it doesn't end there. People are digging even deeper into how narcissistic he seems. A man who flexes only for himself. He's not married, and despite rumors for years about being with model Candy Donat, he hasn't settled down. People are calling it pure selfishness. He doesn't share anything, not even with his mother. Another issue being raised now is the allegations about how he treats women at his restaurants. His so-called rituals look more like he's trying to create a sensation than offering a dining experience. In fact, one customer once had to stop Salt Bae himself when he tried to perform one of his shady, sensational gestures with a woman.
Went to Salt Bae's restaurant, and my fiancé was not going to let that man feed me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The dude Salt Bae should have had some more social acuity. He should have understood that that is unacceptable to even ask that question. It's just disrespectful.
With all of this coming out, people have started refusing to support his restaurants. What were once packed luxury hotspots are now reportedly empty. Salt Bae's empire is collapsing under the weight of his own image. And it doesn't even stop there. More and more reports are coming out about how darkly he treated his employees. Some news says many of his workers have already separated from the job, and they don't even want to come back. Why? Because when people hear the old employees' stories about how badly Salt Bae treated them, even how he stole tips from his own staff, it becomes clear. Who would ever want to be part of his team after that?
Where workers are routinely fired for asking questions about their pay or inquiring about tips. Remember that in the United States, tips earned by employees are their property, and managers with hiring and firing power cannot take those tips. They can't be in a tip pool, and they can't take your tips as punishment. As for Salt Bae, his restaurant seemed to be making money, but workers are suspicious of the poor conditions. Is this going to be the end of Nusret Steakhouses?
Salt Bae didn't just ruin his reputation online. He burned his chances of keeping loyal employees. And that's one of the biggest reasons his empire is collapsing right in front of us. At first, everyone was questioning Salt Bae's food prices. He was selling $1,000 steaks and even $300 burgers. Then the allegations started piling up, and Salt Bae could no longer hide his fault. It was revealed that he was also taking hidden charges from customers, adding expensive taxes to their bills.
Total to $126.30, but with my tip, I spent a bit over $150, which was definitely costly, especially considering that it forgoed any beverages.
Things didn't stop there. Soon people began exposing the actual quality of Salt Bae's food, claiming it was worse than ever.
Salt Bae, how you gonna charge $33 for this? It's like a Whopper from Burger King. This is such a scam. There's nothing unique about this burger. You can get a much better burger at In-N-Out, Wendy's, McDonald's, any other burgers.
All of these controversies led to a massive drop in public trust, and bad reviews started flooding in. His restaurants and business began to completely crumble under the pressure. Even Andrew Tate publicly criticized Salt Bae for his outrageously high prices.
The coolest thing about being rich is remember when I was broke. That's all it is. Having money in and of itself really isn't that interesting.
No, it's not.
You buy the house, you buy the car, you buy the watches, you buy some clothes, blah, blah. It's boring. It's only cool to sit there with my brother in the Nusret restaurant with Salt Bae being an idiot, spending 15 G's and saying, do you remember when we didn't have a penny? 15 grand for dinner? We never had 15 grand in our savings account in our life.
That moment already showed the cracks, and today, Salt Bae is no longer seen as a luxury chef. He's just a meme. After all the controversies swirled across the internet, he's getting rejected everywhere, from customers refusing to visit his restaurants to event organizers not allowing him to participate. Even the Champions League authorities kicked him out of their event. Salt Bae is being rejected from everywhere. Not only that, after his controversial behavior at the World Cup final, touching the trophy and acting shady on the field, he was publicly criticized, and now, with the next World Cup approaching, people are already reminding everyone that Salt Bae is actually banned from entering.
Now just look at all of this. His restaurants are getting banned all over the world. His lawsuits are making him lose massive amounts of money, and his family is practically non-existent. He's not even obedient or close to his mother anymore, so nobody is there to support him in this bad situation. People have started hating him at every single moment. Salt Bae's empire has truly crumbled this time. But why is Salt Bae so desperate to leave America and Europe? Because he knows the FDA has already started an investigation against him. Yes, you heard that right. His allegations have now reached the national level of administration, and things are no longer in his control. And that's exactly why the Food Safety Department of America is now watching Salt Bae like a hawk. If any of these issues get proven in court, he's looking at some serious legal consequences. If Salt Bae's restaurant serves unsafe food, that breaks health laws. He could face up to 1 year in prison and fines from $10,000 to $100,000 plus. If he underpays his staff or steals their tips, that breaks labor laws. Another 0 to 1 year in prison plus fines of $10,000 to $100,000 plus, and paying back every stolen dollar. If he hides income or cheats on his taxes, that's tax fraud. 1 to 5 years in prison and fines from $100,000 to $500,000 plus. If he adds hidden fees or scams customers, that's consumer fraud. Up to 5 years in prison and fines of $5,000 to $100,000 plus. So, if any evidence comes out, and it might, Salt Bae could really be facing prison time and massive fine. That's why he's trying so hard right now to hide out and move his business to Latin America or the Middle East, hoping to dodge the heat. So that's how Salt Bae has lost all his hope. There's nothing left for him anymore. What do you actually think about all of this? Let me know in the comments below.